Dangerously Incompetent here with World of Weak Spots. Today's episode, the Ram 2. Premium American Tier 5 medium tank. Now this is a tank I spent my invite codes 1000 gold on. Well, not all of the 1000 gold, but most of it, when it was on special offer on the grounds. It had all the crew members and pretty good win rate overall. And part of the reason for that win rate is it's well armoured for a tier 5 medium, but it's still fairly manoeuvrable. Still got a bit of speed to it. So let's have a look at the armour, shall we? From the front, the top half at any rate, pretty good. Nice and thick on the front of the turret. A little bit angled, apart from the bit around the gun which is quite flat. There's that empty little slot with no armour either side of the gun, but that's a very small thing to hit, especially when the target's wiggling his gun up and down. So remember to do that if you're stuck stationary and someone's shooting you at the gun slot. Raise and lower your gun while you're waiting to reload. Upper half of the hull, front part, nice and sloped, thick, loads of armour there. There's that weak spot around the cupola. Why they made it a cupola, who knows. Vision slots, well, okay, they're tiny. They're going to hit them unless you really luck out. The cupola itself, that's the place to shoot at if you're stuck on the front, unless you're accurate enough to get there. Either side of the gun barrel. Side is thin, but it's all funny angles. So you're looking at ricochets there, and quite thick, effective armour because of the angles. Then the lower hull, front of the hull, that's not very thick at all. Oops. The side. Oh, stop doing that. Well done. Lovely. Right. Turret from the side, nice and thick. Bit flat. There's a hatch in the middle to shoot at. Slightly less armour. Upper hull, yeah, that big old side. Still quite heavily armoured. Hatch is a bit less, so that's the bit to shoot at. Apart from these parts, but they're so small you're not going to hit them. And there's such an angle you're going to ricochet. There's the tracks, and once the tracks are off, there's not a lot of armour. So if you can shoot the lower hull and take the tracks off, so they're stationary, and then whack a few into the lower hull, that's where to shoot him. Rear, not a lot. Well, I say not a lot. 50 mils of armour is still fairly decent, but it is a place to hit. Engine deck is sloped, don't shoot it there. There's that hatch at the bottom, or the big flat plate at the back. Then when he's trying to angle, you've got a lot of armour there. That coupler's the weak spot, unless you can get the lower hull and then get through, take the tracks off, and then into the lower side hull. So overall, it's quite a lot to remember with all the funny angles. But really, all you need to remember is lower hull to shoot at, or the hatches. The cupola, or the hatch on the side. Oh, and RT view SPGs, very thin on the roof. Don't do the front because it's all slopey and extra thick. The engine deck nice and thin. So that's it for the Ram 2. See you next time.